You will not believe this. So my story of getting an ultrasound on my balls is fucking hilarious.
You both have ball ultrasounds?
Yeah, dude. Here's the fucking thing. These are way more common than you think they are.
Apparently.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome
back to the Almost Spicy podcast. Today we are joined by PHIB.
Yeah, give it a clap all around.
Thank you.
Before the cameras came on, we were talking about the 1990 Olympic torch.
Right.
Can you kind of bring us up to speed on what you're working with?
I have the 1990 Summer Olympic torch.
And that's fascinating.
Wow,
thank you so
holy
much.
shit.
Yeah.
How did you acquire that?
Yeah, we kind of just want to get right into it.
I stole it from my dead grandpa.
That's
a clip.
legit.
Yeah.
You know?
I was moving all of his stuff, and
Wait, is it really stealing if they're dead?
Legally, I think you might have some challenges there.
honestly, it kind of
it's like
ruined
squatters' rights.
You risked it all for the 1990 Olympic. Summer Olympic.
Yeah.
Was okay.
It's better to say it with a slight Brooklyn accent too. The 1990
Is that where it was?
Summer Olympic torch.
Is that where it took
It's the
place?
Olympic torch. What are you talking
No,
about?
honestly, it says Twin Cities. I think it's not even like.
Is that just a fuck? Are you a fraud?
It says the Twin Cities Festival, Olympic Festival on it. It looks official though.
Does it have the rings on it, like the rainbow?
Yeah.
So,
it's official.
So who knows what it actually is?
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna start it on fire this year, run it up and down. I'm sorry I didn't bring it here today.
Yeah, you said you were gonna bring it.
I woke up and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Can you imagine he came with it lit ran all the way.
That would have been crazy.
And then just lights this candle and then just puts it out. Just like
that would have been badass, man. Do we have a candle going?
No.
Oh man.
It's fully hollow though. Like you have to screw in a thing at the bottom if you're gonna light it up. I don't know.
Really?
I think they just doused it with.
I was gonna say it must have kerosene or something.
I was gonna say like a Zippo kind of.
Yeah, because one small breeze and you're not lighting no.
Right?
You're not starting no Olympics with that.
How many Olympics did the torch go out?
Before they're finally like, hey guys, we gotta come up with a better plan.
We were supposed to have our first Google guy, somebody who's gonna be here to Google.
Fact checker?
Yeah, fact checker, but he didn't call his brother, so he's probably asleep or something.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, we have PHIB on the podcast today. PHIB, you are a visual artist, collage maestro, wine connoisseur,
mullet bearer,
holder of the 1990 Summer Olympic torch. And you're also a producer, a music engineer.
Yes, I am.
Wow. We got a lot to talk about here. Wow. So when did you start painting?
5 years ago.
At the same time as the collage journey?
No, I've done collages for 9 years now.
9 years on the collage. That's beautiful, man. And shout out myself for being able to have an album with one of your collages.
Shouts out Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
I got the licensing from PHIB for my first record, man. Shout out 4 p.m. Sir Lucius with that PHIB artwork.
That's actually dope.
Tripno's discography covered in your artwork.
Yeah. Scrolling through my SoundCloud likes is hilarious. It's just licensed work and commissioned work. And
man.
I just did Shrimp's new album artwork too.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's more graphic design based because he sent me a picture that's impossible to work around with collage.
Oh, okay.
But I got creative and put on my graphic design boots.
Dude, did you take classes for anything? Is everything self-taught?
No, I went to school for economics.
You went to school for economics?
That's beautiful.
I hated it.
Did you? Did you learn anything?
Most of the stuff that I learned in economics, I had already known from playing way too much RuneScape.
Jesus. Yeah.
The basics of RuneScape is actually just the entire economics.
It really is, though. There is some things where I was like,
the folly of
this
man.
is something that I've learned when I was 12.
I've done this before.
Exchange.
Yeah. Dude, that's
amazing.
That's
actually mind baffling. Just think about it. You could be a Harvard economist and RuneScape could pretty much put your entire career to shame, honestly.
No, for real. And then at the end, when I graduated, my advisor was like, if you ever want a career in economics, before your interview, just read the last 3 issues of The Economist. And that was the most valuable...
Really?
Just to be
up to date?
got throughout my entire college career.
That's
I
insane.
mean, the best thing that happened to me in college is I met Vontae and started making music.
Yeah.
Hated economics, didn't want a job in it, so I made as much art as possible to avoid getting a job in it.
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out Vontae the Hippie on the Spicy
Vontae.
Podcast. He'll be on here soon.
You better.
Yeah, man. Can you bring the mic a little?
Vontae, you better be up here, man.
Perfect. Yeah, I always tweak about that, but it picks it up, man.
Or if you want to go handheld, you can go handheld too.
Don't give him
I'm
that.
not-
Don't give him that. No, do whatever you want to do. This is a rivalry. People know. Everybody watching
I know how
knows.
to engineer, you know, like I can get the proper distancing.
Yeah, no, I think it's perfect. I wanted to, so you got a bachelor's degree in economics?
Yeah.
And that ties into, and people don't know, and I'm just going to put your business out here. I feel like you are a very savvy person when it comes to economics because of the way I've seen you sell your art in the crypto space. You're a big Solana guy. A little bit of Solana. You went to what works, right? Kind of for what you saw people doing. You made some decent money on Web3?
Kind of. I don't know, man. The crypto Web3 space is just
A shit show.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
That's how I
it's a
feel.
cool community full of cool people and a lot of supportive people. And space where a lot of people made a lot of money, so they want to throw around a lot of money. 'Cause
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it. They don't want
sure.
to cash it out and pay taxes on it.
For sure.
So they invest in art, gamble it. It's a fun little like degen space. I mean, it
that's
really
fair.
is. Like Solana is pretty degenerate. Like
Okay, yeah.
they love the casinos and like the PFP projects that
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
like the generative ones.
Yeah.
I probably should have just went into Ethereum, but I didn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to be called an eco-terrorist.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go full-fledged into it. I was
Yeah.
always like half-footed into it.
Yeah.
I did fine. And like if any Solana homies are watching this, I'm not dogging on Solana. But it is very useful. It's very fast.
Yeah.
That's my elevator pitch for Solana.
It's new tech. It's kind of dope. And we wanted to talk a little bit about what the U.S. government is launching right now with the Fed Now, their own kind of
the
Cash App
Bitcoin?
kind of
Yeah.
instant payment thing. That the Cash App creator actually just died 2 days ago. He just got stabbed
Fucking
in San
insane.
Francisco. And then the government launches this Fed Now program. It's supposed to go live July 1st. 24/7, 365
Are you
service.
suggesting that this is a conspiracy?
No. I would never say anything ever on this podcast about anything.
Oh yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is not a place for controversial topics.
welcome
No.
back to the Easter edition.
We're only called almost spicy. Yes, welcome to the Easter edition.
To close off on that, I do want to say that the government, Pentagon, has actually now declared decentralized currency national security threat, and that's how they get you, and that's how you end up, in the bottom of a submarine with a weight tied to your ankle.
I cashed out all my crypto when the banks were tanking, and if I
Yeah.
invest anything back into it, I'm just going to invest back into Bitcoin because that's
Yeah.
fully decentralized.
Yeah.
And the government has said that, like, it's so decentralized at this point, they can't do anything about it.
Which is why they're trying to call it that national security threat, man.
Solana, Ethereum, every other L1, L2, they all have brick and mortar. Like they'll never they could, but it would take a lot for them to become truly decentralized.
They're still working on just internet servers at that, right?
Yeah.
Which is gnarly. Unlike a Bitcoin where it's kind of its own ecosystem.
Yeah, it's like fully validators are what makes it run.
Yeah. There's a lot to it, man.
There is
Yeah.
coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, PHIB. Do we want to say your name, your normal name, your real? You
My
don't.
real name,
What is it?
Full government.
Connor Dainty. That is my actual last name too.
I like. Where did PHIB come from?
I took it out of amphibian because I was thought I was a frog when I was a kid.
Are you a big snake guy?
Snake guy?
Are you like what kind of? Just frogs or what?
Reptiles.
You like reptiles?
No, I like amphibians. I like frogs.
Amphibians aren't reptiles.
No, those are amphibians. Amphibians and reptiles.
You're here to enlighten me. So frogs are amphibians. Okay.
Yeah, like a
PHIB.
salamander versus a lizard. Like a lizard is a reptile and a salamander is a amphibian.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So what do you think about like the whole lizard people, reptilian government? Do you think they're not lizards, they're actually amphibians?
This is the almost spicy podcast.
We get almost.
The government, Cash App just died.
Anyway, the creator of Cash App just died.
National security threats.
Yeah.
Lizard people. Well, I've been thinking a lot about goblins lately.
Have you?
Have you?
Are you on goblin mode?
On the way here, we were looking up goblin facts.
Oh, really?
That's
Enlighten me with a goblin fact.
Apparently, we encountered some contradicting information, but apparently there are no female goblins.
That sounds like some.
And they all have sex, but they don't need to fertilize eggs to have babies. They also hate horses.
Is this on Wikipedia?
Dogs. No, it was probably like goblinfacts.org. Goblin
Some
facts.
website that hasn't been updated since 2006.
Yeah.
They only hate horses is because like they're taking all the ketamine and they want the ketamine and they're like
true?
Jealous. I think that's
probably true. They have very large heads, probably from all the ketamine use. Very small, wiry body because they're not eating enough from all the ketamine.
Yeah. That K-hole, man, it'll actually get you.
It will.
Yeah. Are you comfortable talking about your K-holes experiences? Or not? We don't have to go there.
I'll talk about shooting up the magic horse.
Yeah.
I've actually never done ketamine.
Me neither. Yeah.
It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it seems like you get stuck there or something.
Yeah.
I know too many people that do it.
Seen people in K-holes and they're just like,
and they're always like, "That's my favorite drug," and I'm like,
"Oh, yeah, dude, we're not judging
okay.
over." What's his face? My friend Justin. You know Justin.
Oh yeah,
Father Justin.
Of course.
He got super drunk at a party one night. He's gonna hate me telling this story.
Oh god.
He got super drunk at a party in college and he got, I think, like apprehended or something by one of the school security guards and like lashed out and like tried to escape and he ended up being like overdosed heavy with ketamine, super drunk.
Dang.
And like I think he like swung on the security guard or something. And
And
then like they gave him too much ketamine. So in the morning they're just like, you could just go on your way.
The feds gave him
we're not
ketamine?
gonna charge you with anything because we probably almost killed you.
With ketamine, that's an art.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
crazy.
understand how it's like such a common drug and just like.
I mean, it's the same thing with like fentanyl. Like fentanyl,
True.
they
Yeah.
have like
True.
they use it in hospitals and
Daily.
shit like that.
True.
So.
Yeah. And this is the Easter Sunday special episode of the Almost Spicy podcast. I want to ask you about.
It won't come out on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. I want to ask you about religion. And are you a religious person?
No.
You're not a religious person.
not.
So you're a young man in the United States.
No, he's an amphibian. Why would he be religious?
They say that religion's going. They say people are caring less about religion, God, heaven, and more about money today. What do you think about that? Do you have any spiritual kind of vibes? Or what do you think? Like, what do you think? What's up there?
I mean, what's up there is in like what controls the earth, or
I don't know. Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
why we're here type shit.
Do you believe in consciousness, like
Yeah.
universal
I believe in, like,
consciousness?
a spiritual connection between like people, plants, the earth,
Yeah.
the cosmos.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's not to be understood. Maybe.
Okay.
It's fine that it's not understood.
Yeah.
I don't believe in like the fear of God and like this one magical being that
Strike you down.
could strike everything,
Yeah.
and that if he created anything on the earth, he made mistakes. You know, everything is
Like
right in its
like
place.
monkfish. What the fuck are monkfish?
What the fuck are monkfish?
What are monkfish?
What's a cuttlefish?
Really? Actually, somebody looked that
They're
up.
the most ugliest fish.
I've had a
Ever.
monkfish.
So you're saying if God is real,
But
then there would be no monkfish?
they're the tastiest fish
They're so
that are
delicious.
also
Really?
the most ugliest things in creation.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
So yeah, what the fuck are monkfish? It's like a fish that got like smashed with like a hammer.
Oh,
and just
yeah,
like
yeah.
flattened out.
That's a big lesson there,
Yeah.
ugly on the outside, but then the inside is the best.
Tasty and delectable when cooked up and served in a culinary.
I think at Hyacinth in St. Paul, I had this monkfish pasta. Excellent. Hyacinth in St. Paul.
Hyacinth?
Yeah. It's on Grand.
Okay.
It's delicious. It's like a really small hole in the wall little pasta spot. You sit like very close to people. Reminds you of being in New York.
Okay.
That's
one of those vibes.
Flight Wonder.
Yeah. Because you're a big foodie guy, big wine connoisseur. And you're a St. Paul guy as well?
Well, I lived in Lower Town for 6 years before I moved to Northeast.
Okay.
So yeah, and I was born off Grand. I lived on Grand and Dale, but I went to high school at Woodbury.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Badass, man. Yeah. What do you think about? You're a musician, so this is a decent question. What do you think about the Minnesota music scene? Do you care for it too much? You don't pay too much attention?
I don't pay too much attention anymore. I think it's a place where people, if you get too deep into it, you pigeonhole your career there. And anybody who has a good career leaves.
Yeah. That's our
find success. Yeah. I mean,
as soon as they leave sometimes.
I mean, our generation of musicians and shit, it imploded. That wasn't very fun. Yeah. So now it's like it's up to the youth to take it over and build it from whatever, like you know, like the older generation from us, like the Rhymesayers and all of those cats. They laid the foundation for us. We maybe laid some foundations, but that's sad because like all we left them was a bunch of dead venues and like a route to call people out on abuse, but no route for accountability.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's I think it's very interesting because most of the people we've had on, like, they either describe it like as like it's a high school place where it's like it's very cliquey, it has its own like different little subcultures within it all, and like people, just very toxic place because it's like nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's all the same people at the same shows.
Yeah.
The bills are always the same. I'm not gonna say it's gatekeepy because it's not. Like, if people are allowed in and out all you want, like, obviously there's going to be politics to it, but it's
a small scene relatively. Like, but there's a lot of musicians though. There's a lot of artists. Even you, like, you know, right now, like, you're actively working right now, and I want to dig into this. I think we can talk about this. He's not here, but the Sir Lucius album upcoming. Word has it that you are executive producing the record.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we don't have many songs done, but we have like 6 beats.
Yeah.
And you're in Ableton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fully.
Team Ableton. Don't let him hear it.
I just love Ableton.
Yeah, we have this Logic Ableton war.
We have this Logic
podcast.
Ableton war, yeah.
Charlie recently left.
Shout out Charlie.
He left Ableton gang.
Are you serious? Not shout out Charlie.
We lost him. We lost a warrior.
Wow. Did he go Logic?
Yeah, he's back at Logic.
Oh, well, he's back.
It's fine, though.
He's a type to go back and forth, though.
I mean, he's more of a recording artist at this point now. So he's not, like, you know, deep in, like, the effects and the manipulations and stuff. So I get it. Like, Ableton lends you more towards that.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's more of a visual program.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
I love it.
I'm a visual artist.
It's fun, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
100%.
So that record, man, I mean, that's like, you know, well, obviously we're Team Sir Lucius on this podcast, Team PHIB, like, obviously we want to push this when it comes out, and it's going to be super exciting, man. Can't wait to, I mean, we're just talking about it, but it's obviously in the works right now, but it's just fun, you know, to make shit sometimes.
We don't have a timeline at all, but we're going to probably start recording some songs very soon. We have like a schedule. We're doing like a classic, like, we work out, we cook food, we record.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like, it's just like an old school approach.
That's the only way to do it.
But I mean, like, you got to kind of change up your ways.
No, absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. It's good work habits that you're like doing. So.
How else are you going to be your best? You know, if you're not.
We're meeting once a week right now, and it's nice. Like, you know, you're taking it more seriously than I used to. I used to just be like, I'm making beats every night at home, and I'm sending them off to whoever the fuck I think it's going to work out with. I don't know.
It's dope to have that plan, I guess, in action, man.
There's like a trial and error with that where you just watch good beats kind of fall to the wayside. And then you have like 100+ beats, and there's no real like direction towards, you know, curating an album and like just anything like that. You get lost in the process of creating and not like the scope of how a project should be worked on, culminated, and like fleshed out.
You still end up using the energy though to make all that stuff. So at the end, you're like, you could be winded or something, you know?
Yeah, but it's weird being like having music, visual art, two forms of visual art that I take very seriously.
Yeah.
So like I have to set out time for collage nowadays, and I have to set out time for painting,
That was my next question.
and I have to set out a bunch of time for music, and it's balancing the three. Where you want to put it like, you know, the ideal day is like I wake up, I work on music for 3 days, then I paint until dinner time, and then I, you know, take a break and make collages up to the wee hours of the night.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah.
I like to do collage.
That's
But,
ideal.
you know, I never hit that trifecta day.
Yeah,
Maybe like
yeah.
once every like 2 months.
Right.
So, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I am a very productive artist.
Dude, and you're
And
conscious about it.
Yeah, I don't try to like I don't guilt myself if I don't work hard either.
Yeah.
That's like one thing I used to do, and it's not really productive.
I totally feel that. Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap of just being like, I fucking suck.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
guilt yourself too. Also, just being like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not making enough.
a toxic cycle, because once you go a week without making something and you start to get down on yourself, then you're not in the mindset
To go
actually
back.
work on it.
Yeah.
Fall
2
out
weeks
of it.
pass by, then you're like, shit, day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then you're stuck in the monotony of life.
Yeah, dude. No, that was actually my question was like, are you a person who kind of does make a schedule and kind of force yourself to an extent to like, because you want to? Because, you know, I mean, you don't force it.
I don't force it. I
You
don't
just
make
let
a
it come.
schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I wake up, I have an idea of what I'm going to do in the day.
Yeah.
You know, I like to go for like a walk in the morning,
For sure.
and then get myself some coffee, and then if I feel like working on whatever, I'll kind of just point and shoot at whatever. If I have commissions, I'll work on that. I work really well on deadlines, and that's something
Do you?
that college definitely did. I kind of need deadlines. And,
Okay.
like, I've realized that as I've gotten older, having deadlines is great, because if I don't, I just kind of just either work slow or I slough. And it's like, it's nice to be like, oh, I need it in a week. And like most freelancers hate when people are like, hey, I need this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you love it.
Kind of.
You're like
I
that.
kind of do. Like Shrimp was like,
Yeah.
hey, I need you to make art for me, but I need it in a week. I was like,
Original
fuck,
piece,
dude. Yeah,
commission.
like- and I was like, okay, cool, I can do it. And I
Yeah.
did it. I gave him 3 drafts.
Damn,
it was pretty
son.
easy. Like,
Yeah, because you know that graph, like, you know, when you force yourself, sometimes it's gonna be shitty, sometimes it's gonna be good, but like it's gonna average out to be like, you know, decent.
Yeah.
But then if you like skip so many days, then you're just less likely to get something good.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, discipline is big. But you seem like a very disciplined person, so to an
I
extent,
try to be.
yeah.
I try to be.
But it's a struggle, though.
He's
I
still
stopped
an artist.
smoking weed last year, like a year ago, and that changed everything. I'm like a more functional person.
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to like not be like, because I used to just think like weed is like a part of the recipe of being a creative.
Yeah.
And I would basically smoke weed all day every day, and then
That's
I
very
would
interesting.
be very antisocial, and like I wouldn't have like the grips on kind of taking more control of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now it's easier just to be like, okay, like need to do this, make better decisions, be more executive with things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, shit doesn't get done, man.
No, it doesn't.
You know, if you don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it.
Yeah, and I would be very avoidant of like messages or responsibilities. I'd be like, oh, well, I'll get to that if I'm in the mood.
Yeah.
Which is how like the it's kind of how I got into being a creative, where I thought like, oh, when the mood strikes, I'll make it. But then it's like it kind of translated into the idea of that weed is a part of the concoction.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like a tunnel vision kind of thing.
yeah, it really is. I mean, I wouldn't respond to DMs and messages for weeks,
Yeah.
and I would miss a lot of deadlines. But
and a lot of money probably too, right?
a shit ton of money. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
Now, when my collage account like kind of really blew up in 2019,
Shout out.
I just did not capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I didn't sell prints. I didn't do anything.
You got around to it.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I look at that like, oh, you know, I didn't seize my opportunity, which is fine.
Yeah. No regrets, kind of.
Yeah, I'm not going to get
Yeah.
mad at myself about that. I can only learn how to just be a little better in the future.
Definitely.
But Yeah, I mean, I kind of had like an arrogant way of being like, oh yeah, I'm a good artist, it's working, this is good, this is fine. This was like programmed in some ways. You know? So I just thought, it only goes up, which is a very silly and naive thing to think.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's fine. And having your art live on platforms where like, the algorithms are constantly being worked on and changing, and that does affect the amount of people or which styles or art forms are in vogue in that moment. There's a level of you don't have control over what avenues and what places your art's going to end up.
And where it's going to end up,
Yeah, so it's like you just got to like be true to yourself and think more about what your audience wants from you, and less so being like, oh yeah, go make reels because that's what works now, and like you don't have to do that. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just do it with conviction. Be consistent with it.
Yeah.
And it seems to
consistency is always the key to just any type of success. It's just no matter what, just keep doing it.
Definitely.
And I do say that as someone who's made 3 collages or 4 or 5 collages this year. So like I definitely.
Is that a lot for you or no?
No, that's like an insanely low amount.
And you say you work best at night into like 3 a.m. type vibe?
I like started to develop a feeling of collage where it's like it felt like work. And like I had a lot of commissions over that time, which was good.
Yeah.
But like I would sit down at my desk and just have this harrowing feeling like I'm like back in college working on like an essay.
Jesus.
So I like had to like rethink my approach, just take some breaks and like just kind of like wait for myself to just kind of feel more comfortable, maybe do collages in different ways. I did some commissions that were really fun. Like I just had to take the pressure off myself. And like I used to like be like, oh well, I have to film my process and make a time lapse and do all this shit. It's just like
behind the scenes for the followers.
Fun. I like to watch little YouTube videos or listen to music, and like, I need my phone for that. And like, it's not, I don't know.
It's not.
It's not natural.
And,
at that point.
if you're focusing all that, of course, it takes away from the entire process of everything. Makes it less genuine too.
Absolutely.
So that's very interesting. Like so. Do you solely like rely off commissions, or do you have another job that you're like
I don't
a stable
have another
job?
No,
So,
I do a lot of like here and there cash jobs and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's mainly just commissions, licensing, art sales in general.
And
then however else I can scrape things up.
Gang.
And that's a lot of respect because you are a full-time artist at that point.
Feels
Which
good.
is really.
Yeah.
Really cool because I'm not quite there yet.
I mean that's
I go back and forth.
Dude, there's still some months where I make $300.
Right.
And then there's some months where I make like 4 or 5 times my rent, and I'm like, okay, well I've got to be smart.
Yeah.
The law of economics says I'm going to spend a lot more.
That's true. Shout out that bachelor's degree.
Shout out that degree.
Exactly.
And RuneScape.
Before we go to the break and come back, where do you pull inspiration from for your visual pieces, man?
For collages?
I feel like for both, is it different for collages versus what you're coming up with out of your head? Because collages, you're working with things that existed and creating something new. And then with painting, it's kind of all from scratch, right?
Yeah. So with collages, when I first started out like 9-10 years ago, I only started making them because I needed cover art for my songs. And I was pulling inspiration from Eugenia Lowley, who is like a really like big classic Pinterest collage artist, and Mr. Babies, who is really good big artist as well.
Okay.
A couple other collage artists. I was just like, oh, this looks really fun, cool style. I feel like I can do this. So I made some like on my phone. But nowadays, I don't have like references.
Okay.
I just look through the magazines,
Yeah.
and I kind of have like an idea of like how I want my compositions to look, but it's mainly about how I want to impart the feeling. It's like you'll notice like my little characters are very like specific on like their posturing and their like they're never going to be forward facing, and if they are, you're not going to see that. Like, I want you to be able to put yourself in the collage.
It's like a silhouette at that point.
Yeah.
It's because collages can be so chaotic.
That's the
So
thing.
your work, your very color scheme oriented layers, like, you know, so it's more than people might think when it comes to collaging.
I try to take a really minimal approach to it.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, my collages are really built up, and I do make a lot of built up collages.
Yeah.
But like, I build them up and then I'll scale them back to like it's bare bones.
Okay.
And like,
That's
I just
dope.
want the colors to be striking. I want the subject and like the composition to be so sound that it's immediately eye catching, and you get it pretty fast. But there's still a lot to explore.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like emotion that you can relate to, and like however you're feeling in the moment, I hope that you can like kind of take a second to relay that into the piece.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the depth is crazy on those pieces. We're with PHIB on the Almost Spicy podcast. We lost one camera. We'll be right back in 5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Almost Spicy podcast with PHIB. What's your DJ name, man?
It's PHIB.
It's PHIB?
Yeah.
It's PHIB.
I mean, I don't
It's
DJ anymore. I'd like to.
Yeah,
Like, I'm working
DJing's fun, man.
Do you know like the genre, like kind of, they call it stoner house? It's like floating points, Fortet,
Oh,
burial.
for sure.
Oh yeah, Fortet. Yeah.
Fortet's huge, man.
Fortet is really big.
Fortet's been around for a fucking long time.
so long. Well, now that Fortet's working with Skrillex and
Fred again.
and
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's really
That's a great
becoming
combo.
way more in the public eye, which is great.
He was kind of low key before, right?
Yeah,
Like, but he
yeah.
hit a Tame Impala
Oh,
record like 3 years back.
He's done several Tame Impala.
Several, yeah,
remixes,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
He's
sure.
actually so fucking good at what
Yeah.
he does, and he's got a beautiful mind for projects. So people just know that. Like, I think Skrillex on that last project was like, Fortet making me not overproduce was the best like asset to the entire project.
Yo.
Because he would just be like, you don't need the wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude.
Which is like all of Skrillex's career.
That
It's
is
just
new
like
shit though. I haven't heard his new shit.
it's a good
Is it
fucking
good?
album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really.
I like dancing to that shit. I mean, that's what's in right now, kind of the house stuff. Like
Yeah.
every hit on the Billboard 100 is
Yeah.
4 on the floor. You're gonna hear.
I mean, that's the same with like pop music too. Pop music
Well,
is
pop
all
music is just kick, cut, kick. And
Four
then
on the
if you-
floor, bro.
If you add the kick under the clap, then you have house. Like, I mean, blah blah blah.
But that's what's in right now, bro.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Drake putting out these records, like the house records, man.
Me and Shrimp are working on a house project.
Seriously.
Yeah, we got only one song, but we're gonna do
Yeah.
like dub plates where it's like 2 to 3 songs per drop.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on DistroKid or how are you distributing? Or I guess he's distributing.
It'll be DistroKid.
Yeah.
Shrimps.
He's a master, man.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll-
It's gonna work.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Our intro is a house song on this podcast, so
yeah?
you know we're with the kids.
I would say-
we're not with the kids, but we're
I would say listen to Floating Points too. Big shout out to Floating Points. He's a
Floating
neurosurgeon.
Points.
Yeah,
I'm ready to do
really?
classically
neurosurgeon.
trained pianist, like very good.
Floating Points. I like to write down what guests recommend.
Floating
We
Points
asked.
was huge for me. Like,
Yeah.
big change over the last year listening to his music because
Really?
he just has a certain polish with the genre that like you don't hear like at all.
I really want to hear now.
It's a fairly encompassing genre, but I don't know. A Floating Point song just really stands out.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea for me and Shrimp is to try to hit some level of that pocket that Burial, Floating Points, and Fortet kind of hit.
Hell yeah.
So what's your like
That's exciting.
main inspiration for like music then? Like in general?
Okay, so the reason it constantly changes.
yeah.
Like the reason that I took the name PHIB out of amphibian is because I wanted to be Diplo, and I heard that Diplo took Diplo out of diploma, which I've heard some like contradicting things about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know if that's fully true, but I remember like, oh yeah, that works.
You could just take
Yeah.
something out of
And it
another
worked.
word.
I mean, it takes forever to find an alias. I think I
Oh,
was looking
yeah.
for an alias for like
Still looking for an
forever.
alias.
And
Hey, DJ, back on your bullshit.
Well, okay, but that's my DJ name.
So is PHIB for PHIB.
yeah, no, it really is.
Sometimes you're
Yeah.
stuck with what you
you
got.
don't
Yeah.
need to
You
put
know?
DJ in front of it, you know.
Yeah.
You could still get DJ gigs without DJ in front
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously. I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
No, exactly.
It is fun to put DJ though.
I mean,
Yeah.
just having fun with your name too is good. I
Yeah.
mean, PHIB is relatively serious, but I've always liked the idea of short names.
Oh man,
Minimalism, you know?
it sells.
It's
I do
either
too.
like short or very long. Anything
Yeah.
in between,
It's like, why is your name a middle
Yeah.
middle
Because
size?
I've always like I wanted to have something just for more serious work rather than like my bullshit that I just make on DJ Back of My Bullshit. You
Fair.
know?
But it's
But,
like
like-
that's already it's a staple.
Yeah, it
DJ
is a
back on my
staple.
bullshit.
It is a staple.
Like my band name is people have trouble because it's in Spanish, but it's like just when you don't find anything better, it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with that.
Yeah.
You know, we ask all of our guests this one question. Ben, please.
Okay, it's a very simple question. It revolves around one thing.
It's one question. This is for a super cut.
Aliens.
I'm thinking goblins.
Yes or no?
Goblins.
So goblins, it's a yes.
That's a yes.
Between goblins and aliens, who do you think would win?
Did you just ask us a question?
Yeah. Interview's turn.
Holy fuck! I was not ready for this.
He threw down the Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Think deeply.
They're both 3 feet, right? 3 to 4 feet.
I'll be honest. I feel like goblins would low-key win. I feel like goblins have this like one up where they're just like, don't they like make their own like armor and shit like on a crazy level?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think we were on camera when you said that you were researching goblins on the way to this podcast. So how tall are goblins?
Don't dox me, okay?
Yeah, don't dox me, bro. I'm doxing every guest, bro. I'm always saying crazy shit.
All right. All right.
It's facts.
How tall is a goblin?
I don't know.
I thought you were doing research, man.
That never came up.
All right.
But let's say I'm gonna guess
quick.
around 3 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess.
But like, you know,
So we need Mark.
back in the day when everybody went through their like alien research phase.
Yeah, back in the day, back
I
in
thought
last
they
week.
Were you an ancient aliens type of guy?
No, I didn't like ancient aliens.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
But I remember me and my friends watched that one video of that guy who worked for NASA at like the underground base.
Yeah.
Where he got cancer and then he's like, I'm gonna die soon, so I'm gonna air it all out. It was called, I forget his name.
Yeah, big interview, big on his deathbed.
Yeah,
it's a big
and
one.
he
He had
died,
pictures, right?
He died like right after. I don't think he had pictures. He may have had pictures.
He was showing. I think
It's
he
like
might
a
have showed the
7-part
autopsy.
series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's a lot of proof out there, man. There's a lot of autopsies. There's bodies. There's ships underground, reverse engineered. Our own military craft that are just replicas of alien craft. A lot of stuff is actually going to be public this June. Washington, D.C. There's a big event. Shout out Dr. Stephen Greer, bringing the truth to the people, man. You can't fall for the false flag alien invasion that the government's been planning for 70 years, man. It's pretty crazy.
70 years.
70 years, man. Free energy, they've got it. It's
like
free energy, bro.
free energy.
The only reason we don't all have free energy in our homes is because the petrol industry is I think it's a $4 quadrillion industry, so they're not gonna let this shit go down easy.
Energy's one of one of those huge sectors.
Quadrillions of dollars. Like I don't even know what that number is. You know, it's pretty insane.
Apparently
Man.
quadrillion.
I mean,
I don't know what that means.
Apparently, fact check
Making
me.
salt out of salt water will only be like a mechanic that's widely used and adopted until the water
Runs out.
famine is
Right.
upon us.
But they can do it.
Yeah.
But they won't do it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I-
totally
Yeah,
possible. It does take
yeah.
a lot of effort, but yeah.
I mean, you think about it, like us as a modern society, we flush away like all drinkable water, like on the daily.
God damn.
It's kind of like a weird thought to think about. It's like we take for granted so much of water.
Well, have you
water's
have you been to a water treatment plant?
No, I've never been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
They're stinky.
They fucking reek,
They're
dude,
fucking
for
so
sure.
stinky.
Shout out everybody working at the treatment plant with this podcast in their ear. Shift's
real.
almost over, man.
For real.
We're on Spotify, Apple Music right now.
He's got to plug mid podcast.
Dude, that's how we roll
Water
here.
treatment plant.
Well, plug the water treatment.
You're like, why does this stink? And you look over, you just see a fucking water treatment plant.
Dude, why
So
you smell this shit?
explain that to me. What's up with a water treatment plant?
Well, they
Like,
just
what do
take sewage and sewer water and
Separate it, right?
and anything, and they basically just purify it out back to like usable drinking water. Your tap water is what's coming back through the water treatment plant.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought it was. I mean, you see like the classic video that came out like years ago of like Bill Gates where they take like this giant
his shit
machine,
water, yeah.
his shit water, yeah, and
We've
it's
got
like
a little machine, I guess. That's probably the best thing he's ever done,
it was this gigantic.
Oh, it is out, yeah.
Yeah, gigantic machine, and he was like so proud because it's like pure and clear. He's like, here I am.
the one good thing he's done, man.
Doesn't taste like shit.
It's like,
probably
you've ever
does,
been
though.
camping and like you get into a shitty situation through your hike where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm out of water, and all I got is this like nasty bog, and you run it through your charcoal filter.
Yeah.
And you drink it. It's clear, but it does taste fucking awful.
Yeah, you can still taste it.
But you're still happy. You're like,
the fact that it's clear
drink
though
the
is
shit
so
out of this,
reassuring.
Yeah.
Like, are you a big camping guy?
Yeah, I love camping.
I fucking love it, man.
Yes.
We should do a trip.
Totally
Like
down. North Superior hiking trip.
Lucius, you come along too.
Where's your favorite place to camp?
I'm not gonna put that out on. I don't want people to go there.
Yeah, gatekeeping. We got a lot of gatekeeping.
That's fair.
Keep the trail.
That's fair.
Gatekeep the trail.
Well, okay, you don't need to. Not the trail. But
Minnesota?
What about like a park? Like, what's your favorite park to?
The entirety of the North Superior hiking trail. Is
North
amazing.
Spear.
Yeah, so it goes from Duluth all the way up to basically the border. It's like 270 miles.
Damn, son.
Yeah, it's great.
So, have you done most of the other parks or?
Not a bunch. I want to do more of the Gunflint, which is off of Grand Marais, and it goes
Hell
like
yeah.
up, maybe to Ely.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, but yeah. It's like
Shout out nature, man.
It's great.
Do you get a lot of your inspiration from nature?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck yeah.
My collages have pressed flowers in them. I make flower pots.
I was gonna say his collage for his album. I mean, that's very like nature.
The water deal.
I mean,
That's an older piece too.
yeah, that's a super old piece.
Yeah.
For today's standings. But,
2023.
I mean, all the books that I go through, they're nature books. They're
Okay.
landscape photography.
Yeah,
There's street photography books that I have a lot of. But mainly I have National Geographic from 1930 to 1980.
Ooh.
Almost completely.
How did you get that collection of?
Money.
You bought them?
Yeah.
You bought them? Okay.
Funny.
Yeah.
I mean, the prices of them on eBay were slowly going up as I would buy them.
Gnarly, dude.
Yeah. I used to be able to get them for like $10 a year.
Yeah.
Now they're like $25 a year, $15 shipping.
For subscription?
Yeah, and like collage has gotten a lot more popular. It's fine. It's not like I did that.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know. You have a pretty big influence.
I did buy a lot, though.
You might have done that. What about? Can you tell us about your? And I always mess this word up. I'm going to go for it. Terrariums.
Yeah, terrariums.
Tourettes.
So I got a lot of house plants.
Yeah.
And like I love botany. I love like identifying trees, plants, flowers, and everything.
Sick. You have a few apps on your phone to.
You can don't download the apps. Most of them are just data farmers. You can just take a picture of your, like that Dracania. You can just take a picture of that with your phone.
Yeah.
Go into it.
Did not know that's what it was.
Pull up, and it'll say look up plant.
On the iPhone?
Yeah, you can do this with artwork too.
You don't need an app?
No, bro. It's just,
I don't think I have that update,
You can
bro.
take a picture of these New Yorkers or like the photo of New York City and pull up, and it'll say look up painting.
What?
You can do that with some bugs too.
No, bro. I have not. Are you sure?
Already has this.
What?
Yeah, you
Take
could
a picture of your ginseng right there.
Yeah, like Google Google Lens.
Google Genocide. Shout out to producer. It's not working. Oh, wait. I'll try it later.
It'll take a second, but yeah, you just take a picture of a plant. Having a flower helps because that's like the easiest identifier for most plants. And then you just swipe it up. Sometimes it takes once or twice. Like if you do it right away and then try to do it, it'll take a second.
I've never seen this shit. Is this true?
It's not always right, though.
Fight.
It's not always right. So what I'll do is like I'll go cross-reference the photos that it'll give you because it'll be like, oh, here are all the photos that I'm using to figure this out.
I've noticed that a lot of them, they're now being like tailored towards specific products rather than like finding like similar looking like images. So it's like it's just like trying to get you to sell you something.
Man,
that's what I've noticed was like Google Lens, because like Google Lens you could like reverse image search something. And it would like show up with other stuff, but now like if you're using it on your phone, it's like trying to like more specifically for like clothes. Like, here's this thing, and like you can buy it here.
Here's the striped shirt.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. It's like
classic.
Fucking striped shirts. Yeah, not sick.
Love it.
Gotta love
Targeted ads.
Targeted ads.
But yeah,
Gotta fucking love it, dude.
I got pretty deep into bonsai, and then it's very like. You know, in the summer you water them up to 3 times a day. You got to do work on them. You got to prune them. Each tree wants like a different cycle, so you prune or repot in a certain time of year.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to it. So my houseplants were suffering immensely because of that. And I was like, okay, terrariums is kind of like a little art form where once you close it, if you want to open it, you could do it every 6 months. Add a little water, get fresh air in there. That's all. That's very
sick,
minimal
dude.
effort.
Yeah,
And you can
that's
just like
really cool.
let them cook, let them sit there, be all cute.
Yeah, I want to commission one from you, man. Yeah.
100%. And you can just do it outside. Like, you could walk through your yard and make a terrarium.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I can do it, but the way you do it, it just like, I mean, you've done a few now in your life, so it's like, you know how to stack it, but it's pretty badass, man.
I did like probably like 30 of them last year.
Sick.
It's fun going to like thrift stores though. Like,
Yeah.
I used to go to thrift stores for books. Then I went for like terrariums and glass, or I guess I started with
Jars
vinyl and stuff. And
Okay,
clothes.
right.
And then like now I'm like glass and cameras and like
Fuck yeah, dude.
you know, having a different purpose.
Yeah, for the same.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the beauty about it, kind of
It
that thrift
feels
store.
great, yeah.
Yo, what kind of music did you listen to growing up? Changing the subject a little bit. What kind of inspired your music taste growing up? What was playing in the house?
My dad was a big Deadhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unknown Mortal Orchestra played the Shakedown Street.
Yeah, dude. That
Great
shit was
cover
raw.
of it too. Fucking great cover.
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
The guy next to me was like, "Did he just say Grateful Dead?" And then he like played like two chords.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other like Shakedown Street. It was like such a Deadhead experience.
Dude,
It's
hell
just
yeah,
like-
man.
it's
That
funny
shit was
as hell.
gnarly.
But yeah, a lot of Grateful Dead. My mom liked a lot of like Dido
Oh.
Interesting.
and No Doubt.
Wow. Spunky. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Well, that's kind of punk, spunk, yeah.
Yeah.
Is spunk just like female punk? Am I being
I
a
thought
sexist?
Spunk was cum.
Excuse
I was
me?
gonna say, yeah. That's,
Spunk was cum?
that's
That's
yeah. I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
Dial it back, friend.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you're like at a 10. I need you like at a 4.
I need you at a 9.
Drink your wine.
Yeah, I already drank it.
This is the
Yeah.
almost spicy.
We
You
got a
got
special-
spicy
We got
real
a special
fast.
request in a few seconds, but I just want to touch on a few serious notes. We're talking, and you don't have to comment if you want. We're just talking about Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice, accepting bribes from a GOP billionaire. They're trying to impeach him now.
I would like to state for the record, I don't come up with any of this shit.
Yeah, I don't either. This is just the news,
He was telling you
man.
earlier, like I just show up and
Can the
like,
news be fixed? Interview.
What do you think about the protests going right now in France? It started with the retirement age thing, but it's more than that now. Now that they're at the BlackRock corporate offices in France, I was telling him, and he wasn't, too up to date on it, but like, it is bigger than the retirement age now because that France scene could be anywhere. That could be here. That should be everywhere. What do you think about it? What do you think about corruption? What do you think about capitalism? Give us a few seconds of that, man.
just a few seconds. That was a lot. He threw a lot at you.
He threw a bunch at me.
So pick your highest order.
say-
Do the Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
I'll say that I don't think capitalism is inherently evil.
Okay.
I think that late stage capitalism with unchecked systems is evil.
Yeah.
And that's how that becomes, I believe, in a hybrid socialism, capitalism.
Boom.
Like beautiful mix. I don't think any one system has ever actually worked perfectly
Yeah.
in execution.
Yeah.
I think that corruption is rife in both of these systems when it's not checked and the systems don't work.
Yeah.
I love the French people's willingness to burn down their city.
They'll do it. They'll do it to anything too. It's
Yeah,
like
no, nothing's sacred.
There's nothing that like literally it doesn't matter retirement age. You could have political leader, fucking anything.
They'll
Like,
protest. That's what
they'll
they say. I hear
protest.
that's a narrative that's like unpurposely pushed to think, the French will protest anything.
But they do.
But they do, but now it's not just anything, it's something that's globally. We're all ruled by BlackRock, whether you're in France or in the United States. It's the one world corporate owners. There's us and them, basically,
And
kind
about
of
like 5 to 10 other giant families.
Well, yeah, exactly.
no.
That's $1 trillion company, but there's many.
Yeah.
Thank you for touching on that, man.
Yeah, of course.
We have I have a request. We're getting to the end of this. I feel bad for it. I'll just bring it up. Okay, so I have this shirt I was going to throw away.
1990 Summer Olympic torch.
Look,
It's the actual torch.
I have this shirt, and I have 3 Sharpies, and I have a timer. And I would just love if you could just do anything with it.
You want me to? Okay.
I don't even
I
care.
also have a Sharpie right here.
You have a Sharpie
Which
too?
honestly,
I got my
that is a way
Maybe-
better Sharpie than probably what you
Maybe
are
if
going
you
to bring to
could
the
this
kind
table.
of do some, like, this is a horrible workspace. I know circumstances are weird. We're just It was just an idea, man.
What do you want? You want something for my still lifes?
Maybe anything, man. Almost spicy, a flower, man.
Be creative.
We got 3 minutes on the clock.
3 minutes? I'll do it way faster than that.
And we have rapid fire questions at the same time. All right, no.
No, you can go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Phib.
Let's see.
This is live art. We've never had
Okay. What's a rapid fire question?
We've never had anything like this on the file.
What's your preferred marker?
These giant
King size, not the Magnum size.
No, I like the Magnums.
Yeah, the
I have a
Magnums.
lot of stuff in my pockets today.
Jesus, man.
The Magnums are legit.
Magnums in there. Ladies and gentlemen listening at home, please send us any comments, questions, or topics, life advice that you need. You know that we're well prepared. Send it in on our DMs. We'll get a public email out soon, almost spicy.
So other than the fact that you graduated with, some economics and everything else, what other little things have you taken from that have implemented into your own life?
Hold the mic up to him because he doesn't have a mic. I don't even think he heard the question.
No, I heard the question. I kind of have they say an economics degree is kind of just like a little bit of capitalist propaganda at the end of the day. So I've been aware of that, and I've been trying to kind of
counteract that.
Yeah, just understand the laws of economics are true, they're sound, and they do work in
massive scales.
Yeah, the thing about economics is you break it down to its most simple
fundamentals.
And a lot of people say that that's silly because markets are very complex. They're unpredictable. It's nobody could know that. Well, you could, but
what is predictable is human nature.
Yes, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays nothing's really more human than being very irrational and unpredictable.
That's that's United States for sure. Yeah. We're different here. Other schizophrenics in Africa, they tend to hear children laughing when they're having episodes, these kind of sounds. Here, a schizophrenic hears screaming and more violent things in their head because that's what they would hear on a normal day. So it's kind of interesting to me.
So you're saying that schizophrenics and
I'm completely lost. I'll be honest.
Pleasant sounds in the gauge of what an American would think.
Yes,
schizophrenics and probably more so Western societies just hear terror
or more deathly screaming, but it's schizophrenic in a more peaceful, nature driven. Even if it's a third world country, you still hear children playing outside. Now here we don't have children playing outside, they're on TikTok. And you have, gun violence and this kind of stuff.
There's one of the most popular sports right now is just police chases. They happen every fucking day, and they're live streamed for sport.
I don't know. Police is chasing people. Yeah.
There's been probably 4 or 5 this week in LA alone. They're all
that's the thing. Have you heard of the LA gang, cop gangs? I didn't know about that. That's fucking nuts.
Hey man, fuck Cop City.
They're actual gangs, and you have to have certain initiations whether you kill somebody, whether that's fucking
beat
nuts.
up a person of color or something. Yeah, man. No, I'm not for that. It reminds me of the shadow government that we have, where there's part of our government that people don't know about with its own military, its own economy, its own air force, its own navy. Black funded, unconstitutional programs, man. So, wow, that's 3 minutes flat. That is 3 minutes flat, man.
You had no timer going.
That is sick. Maybe a little bit of shading. I guess I'll add a little bit to it or something.
No shading.
This is beautiful. Can we we'll show the camera, Benjamin? Thank you.
Of course.
Wow. And this will be going up for raffle. This is a charity piece. All proceeds are going to the Almost Spicy Foundation.
Take out the fact that it's from Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, a woman can also wear it.
The way you look.
You're gonna love the way you look. I fucking guarantee it, man. Phib, what a fucking pleasure this has been, man. We got some artwork. We got some drinks. We talked about your process a little bit.
Also, I completely forgot to say this. Goblins are in fact 3 to 3.5 feet. Just so you know.
Boom.
Just a fun.
Also, going back to Men's Warehouse, I had an X-ray of my balls recently, and I was thinking it'd be funny to go rent a tuxedo from the Men's Warehouse, walk it in, and be like, "I'm ready. I'm here."
To your appointment, to your X-ray.
Yeah. I was trying to lighten up the situation. Okay, it's not like I was happy about this.
Yeah.
But everything's good.
Did you get an X-ray or an ultrasound?
It was an ultrasound, which is
the weirdest.
Awkward.
It's so
Is that
weird.
the one where you can't move, or is that at
No,
Mark?
you're just sitting there.
Yeah,
it's like,
see, that's the thing. You will not believe this. So my story of getting an ultrasound on my balls is fucking hilarious.
You both have ball ultrasounds?
Yeah, dude. Here's the fucking thing. These are way more common than you think they are. Apparently, I was told by the nurse that she does more ultrasounds on guys than she does pregnant people. Oh my god! And I was blown away. I was like, "What do you mean? This is like specifically for this." But
that's gnarly. Is there like a little holster?
No.
So it's the ultrasound thing.
Yeah. So like.
Yeah.
This story is like really fucking funny because I go in and I'm like kind of like weirded out by the whole situation.
Sure. It's 8 a.m. You're fasting.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even need to be.
Early, yeah, you're fasting. Don't even need to be. Early in the morning, I'm like sitting in the waiting room, like waiting, and like an older nurse comes out. I'm like, okay, thank God, it's like an old nurse.
She knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. Like, I'm not like concerned about it. And like, I'm waiting there. I'm like sitting there. I'm on my phone. I hear the name. It's like Benjamin. I like look up. I kid you not. She was probably my age, if not like, and she was really fucking attractive too. And I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
God,
like, and of course, like through the entire thing, I'm thinking like I could run into you at any point. I'm like, you've seen my testicles fully. Like no,
I'm sure we've matched on Bumble.
It was just like it was just like the. I mean, granted, like I was just like whatever, just like sitting there.
No, a ultrasound is really fun.
Ultrasound. That's the name of this episode.
Did they give you warming lube?
Yeah.
Well, they don't want it to shrivel, right?
They didn't tell me, and I was just like, "Yo, this is like really hot." Like, and she's just like, she like stops, like she like taps. It's like it shouldn't be, and she like pauses. She's like, "Oh, it's the warming lube." But like, you should have led with that, like before you lit my balls on fire.
You didn't say anything about the lube, and you're getting lubed up, and then you're like, "Oh, this is part of this." Like I thought we were getting along. I thought you heard about the pod, man.
Yeah,
I was cracking off bits. I was like, "Is it a boy or a girl?"
Well, you're like, you have 3 balls. That's what they said.
Yeah. Well, and there's a part of it too where they like turn on the sound so you can hear it. And
the inside?
It's just the blood flow that's going, and it's just like
blood, brother.
Really? Oh yeah, I got.
I'm an audiophile, actually.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
You're like, is this a podcast? Me and my balls? Like we're just like,
It's like.
You should have your balls on for the next guest.
Honestly,
some ASMR going crazy.
It's just that. It's like, what do you have to say?
It's an audio only episode. You guys are crazy.
It sounded very weird. It sounded like I don't know if you ever heard like those like sounds of space where it's like this like unsettling. That's pretty much what it sounded like. It was absolutely unsettling. Like she's like, "You want to hear it?" I'm like, "Do I want to hear it? We might as well. We're here.
Well, you're already paying for that bad boy. So.
We're in this environment. It's already awkward enough."
She just put the shell up to your ear.
I'm really glad that I didn't have the audio. That would have.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of complaints about the audio. Do you think internet has changed a lot? My last question, do you think the internet has changed everything as far as now being able to reach that utopia, socialism, ex-capitalism, age of information? We know maybe Christianity isn't 100% accurate because we have the internet and we actually know that there's, what do you call it, telepathy and other kind of real supernatural items.
I think the internet has changed a lot, but I don't think it's changed as much as people think. I feel like people have always been immune to propaganda.
Yeah.
And
immune? Not immune.
No one is immune to propaganda.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that they are.
Yeah.
I think that, like, just information in general is just more readily available. Like, there probably were a lot of police chases going on, but now they're just broadcast.
Now they're in high definition.
There's been predators that have been called out for as long as time.
But now we watch it for fun.
But yeah, Chris Harrison just had to come onto the scene.
Chris Harrison? Who's that?
What's his actual
no,
name? It's a different name. It's Chris something. Yeah.
It's Chris something.
The guy To Catch a Predator.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Chris Harrison.
Yeah. Okay.
Hansen, I think.
Hanson.
Yeah, Chris Hansen.
Is that it?
Yeah, Chris Hansen.
Handsome, more like Chris Hansen.
But that's hilarious. He's a predator?
No, he's the catcher.
Oh, I was gonna say.
He's the guy that.
It just doesn't surprise me anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like.
Of course, the guy who's
It's like,
predators.
Chris Hansen, why are you in my kitchen?
Where are the cameras? Like,
Where are the cameras?
it's just me today.
Take a seat, relax.
Take a seat, relax.
Are you sitting down? You're gonna want to be sitting
You're
down.
going to want to be sitting down.
Take it
Actually, you should just pull your hands out right now. I've got people coming up.
Yeah, they'll be here any
They'll
minute.
be here any minute.
Fib, this has been so much fun, man. I think we're gonna wrap. I think we got all the questions. Do you have any questions left?
I got no questions.
We hit the hour. This camera's about to go out.
Yeah.
Any last comments, Mr. Connor? Fib?
Thinking a lot about goblins.
Yeah.
Catch me this summer with the 1990 Olympic torch.
Everywhere. Where are we at? Thomas Beach. We're at all the beaches. We're camping.
In the comments, would you rather be
Yeah.
who's gonna win the fight? A New York rat or a Midwest squirrel?
Boom. Please
Let me know.
run that back. Put that on the screen. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let them know.
Thank you guys for having me.
Fib stuff on all platforms, man. Check the links in the description. Thanks for coming on, brother. This has been a pleasure.
Also not Fib stuff on all platforms.
It's not Fib stuff on all platforms. We got the right links.
This on Twitter.
Fib does this on Twitter.
My dainty.paint. Who cares? I'll just text it to you.
Just text
It'll
me,
just
man.
be in the description.
We'll put your phone number in the description.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Almost Spicy Podcast. My name is Francisco. This is Ben. Fib was the
My
guest.
home address is 14.
Cut. Wrap.
All right. Let's wrap.
Thanks, guys.
Beautiful, man. Thank you. What a pleasure.
I hope that was better than the Carlos.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for this.